Okay. For those of you that watched the earlier video, I was pulling codes on the car after changing out the harness for the side detection modules on each side. It was what I expected. It needed to be programmed. So I did make a call to a mechanic friend who was able to program that for me. So I bought him some lunch for that. Took care of those problems. He also looked at the airbag that is giving me some issues, and he has access to wiring schematics. I did not have access to that, so he was able to tell me where both the modules were, what I got to look at. So tomorrow I'm going to pull the driver's seat and I'm going to get to those, see if I can mess with the resistances that I'm getting there, see if I can pinpoint what's going on. However, this next project is pretty simple. Wife's car was due for oil change, so got it jacked up. Got my jack stands under there. Those are a must. Picked up new catch pan for it. Super cheap. Almost 14 bucks after tax at Walmart. I don't use fancy stuff. I use what works for the best price. So we're gonna go ahead and get the oil dropped, and then the filter we do up through the top. I'll just take you under here real quick and show you. So on these 2013 Acadias, you got to stay up on the oil changes, or you could end up doing a timing chain in the near future. But they put the drain plug in a really nice spot. Let's see if I can't get. Right under here. It's 15 millimeter. However, you get oil all over the frame here, so you actually have to make a little cardboard funnel for it to bounce off of to get it down here. Otherwise, you're cleaning forever. So that is what I'm going to do. Is get that drained, get this oil change done. Pretty simple. We've got oil filters down on this side over here. Kind of a pain. You can see it right down there. Got a mobile one filter on it. These are a pain because no matter what you do, you're gonna get oil on stuff. They didn't design them right. Here's a little bit better view now. You got a flashlight. That 15 millimeter bolt for draining the oil. I always buy my oil from Advanced Auto Parts just because I can get a pretty good pick of what I want, and I can get oil and a filter for about 42 bucks after tax. It's, like I said, good, cheap. We make sure we do the oil every 2,500 miles on this Acadia, just hopefully avoid timing chain issues, but we knew that when we bought it. But on these, the engine has to drop out the bottom of the car, so really don't want to have to do it if we don't have to do it. Anyways, I'm going to change the oil on this thing, and I will make sure I record tomorrow when we pull that seat out. You guys will be learning right along with me on that one. I'm going to look at that, see if we can't figure out this airbag system. So I figured I'd throw this in. For those of you who do want to try your own oil changes, one thing you have to know is that sometimes these bolts are really hard. So if you get a wrench on there, I like using open end wrenches, and then you clip another one in like that for some leverage, you can crack it open way easier. And once you crack it loose, I take, at least on this vehicle, a nifty little cardboard thing. Make sure that the oil is going to be hitting it and dripping right down into my pan. Sorry about the crazy video here. So just wanted to show you that little trick. I want to apologize. Earlier, when I was recording a scan tool in the vehicle, did not realize my phone was so cold from being out in the garage. Phone died. Anyways, that's what led me to taking it for a test drive because I was still pulling codes, and went to talk to my mechanic friend and had him just program that module for me. So that's what you didn't catch in the video that died, was just that. All right, now oil is drained. And we are going to, there we go. All right, oil is dropped. Now we're going to get this oil filter out. Kick my oil pan under approximately where it's at. Now, I am a guy that uses old t-shirts. For all this stuff. I like to put one down there underneath the oil filter, just to kind of catch the majority of the oil. We'll see how well it's going to come out. The hand is a little oily. Hoping I don't got to get a tool on it. That one wasn't too bad. No. Oh. There we go. Not too bad. It looks like the reg's caught most of it. There. Take a little bit of the old oil, or new, whatever you want to do. I'm kind of always going to put a little oil in the filter. I'm just on that gasket there. And this is like trying to plug something into an outlet that's behind your couch. Wow, and that actually started for me. So it went pretty well. And one thing that can happen is when you pull these old filters off, sometimes the gasket, the rubber seal, does not come off with the filter. Sometimes it can stick. So when you pull that old filter off, you really want to make sure that this gasket is still on here. Because if that stayed on the engine and you put another one over top of that, it will leak. And don't ask me how I know that. that drain out. Now you don't want to really over tighten these, but you do want to crank them down a little bit. Now, on this vehicle, no matter what I do, I'm going to have some oil spots on my floor. I just get up there and try to wipe as much of it down as possible. It also takes 6 quarts, so like I said, I can spend $42 after tax and get 5 quarts and a filter. So then you're going to spend another $12 for a single quart. So what I usually do, I put the same oil in both vehicles. So I usually just buy 2 of the sets, and then that gets me through one oil change. And it all works out in the end. Then after that, I'm just buying 1 set from there on out. Before putting this in, you always want to make sure that oil plug is in on the bottom too. I know a lot of guys will start draining that oil, crawl out from under the car, go do other stuff, guys or girls. I lay under there until it's done, and then I put that plug back in. So that way I do not forget to go back under there and put the plug in. It's a good way to end up with $40 worth of oil all over your floor. Or more. If you buy these single quarts of Mobil 1, are about $12 a piece. So, you know, 5 quarts on your floor, it's a significant amount of money. And then these jugs come in really handy to dump your used oil in. Well, that was 5. So we got 1 more quart to go. And this is my carry forward jug that I get my 1 quarts out of. Half a quart in. Yeah. I have about half a quart left. We'll splash more. There we go. Should be pretty close, but we'll fire it up, let it run for a second, and we'll check our levels. Sometimes with new fresh oil, it's sometimes difficult to see. Well, a little bit of oil drips from the filter. However, no. We got oil in there. And we got 6 quarts in there, but it is not reading on my dipstick. What's up? What?
Well, it's close to 5, so I'm gonna start pizza soon. I'm trying to paperwork.
Okay.
But then, do you and the boys want to run and do?
Yeah, we can do that. I just gotta. I wasn't getting a reading on here. I must have just misjudged how much is in that other thing. So I still need another half a quart. Ooh. A lovely jar of filters. All right. Let's see what that looks like now. I usually like to make sure I can see oil on both sides. Of the dipstick. And one side's only getting me about half. I don't want to get too much in because then I got to take some out. I don't like doing that. Not that I've had to do it. Well, one time on an old vehicle, I had to do it. I was young. What's up, boys?
What's up?
What are you working on?
I'm not inside because I'm getting cold.
Okay, where's Nash?
He's coming.
Where's Owen?
He's inside.
He went to his house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because outside his toes are getting cold and my fingers are getting cold. So I told him we can probably see each other tomorrow.
Ah, all right. Okay, well. Now you go to an oil change place, they do have a fancy thing where they just set it to how many quarts they need, and it puts it in. I know because I used to work with one. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
You going in because you're cold? Okay.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to the phone. Talking to all the people watching. And that does it. We are at a good level with our oil. Filter's draining. All I'm going to do is clean up and call it good. So, appreciate you hanging out with me while we're doing oil change. 2013 Acadia. And tomorrow we'll tear apart a seat, see if we can't figure out some airbag stuff.